You've felt it. The moment you need everything to go right, it doesn't. The traffic jam before the most important meeting of your life, the phone dying right when you need to prove something, the forgotten wallet when you're finally at checkout. It's not just bad luck. It's not random misfortune. It's Murphy's Law in action. And whether you realize it or not, it's been running your life since the moment you were born. Because the truth is, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Not sometimes, not occasionally. Always. Murphy's Law is not just a joke. It's not just a pessimistic saying thrown around when life screws us over. It's a fundamental rule of chaos, probability, and inevitability. Something that governs everything from everyday inconveniences to global disasters. It's why rockets explode. It's why hard drives fail when you forgot to save your work. It's why the one pen that works disappears when you need to sign something important. Because if something has a chance of happening, no matter how small, it will happen eventually. And that means you're never truly safe from chaos. But here's the twist, the part nobody ever thinks about. Murphy's Law doesn't have to be your enemy. In fact, if you understand it deeply enough, you can turn it into your greatest advantage. Because once you accept that everything can and will go wrong, you unlock the power to prepare for it before it happens. This is why engineers live by Murphy's Law. It's why elite military units operate under it. It's why the smartest minds don't fight chaos, they anticipate it. Because if failure is inevitable, the only thing that separates you from disaster is preparation. Think about this. Most people live their lives assuming things will go well. They assume their plans will work. They assume their decisions will hold up. They assume nothing will go wrong because why would it? But that assumption is the single biggest reason they fail. Because when Murphy strikes, they panic. They scramble. They waste time. They make everything worse simply because they weren't ready. But the ones who prepare, the ones who expect chaos instead of fearing it, they move fast, adapt quickly, and win even when everything falls apart. That's why the real masters of life don't fight Murphy's Law. They plan their moves around it. Murphy's Law is not just about disaster. It's about understanding the universe itself. Everything is built on probabilities. And if something has a chance of happening, no matter how small, it will happen eventually. That's why even things that seem statistically impossible still happen. That's why people win the lottery. That's why some survive plane crashes while others don't. That's why flukes happen, moments collide, and pure randomness shapes history. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's just the law of inevitability. And once you see it clearly, once you stop blaming bad luck and start playing ahead of the curve, everything shifts. Because suddenly, Murphy's Law isn't an enemy. It's a blueprint showing you exactly where you need to be prepared. Let's get one thing straight. Murphy's Law isn't just an idea. It's not just a funny rule that explains why your shoelaces snap the day you're running late. It's not just the reason your laptop crashes right before you hit submit. Murphy's Law is bigger than you realize. It's woven into the fabric of reality itself. And if you think it's just a matter of bad luck, you're already underestimating it. See, the universe, it doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your deadlines, your perfect strategies, your hopeful expectations. It runs on entropy on disorder, unpredictability, and chaos. This is why things don't stay perfect. This is why cars break down, buildings collapse, businesses fail, people make mistakes. Because when systems exist, things within them will always trend toward disorder. Murphy's Law isn't pessimism, it's physics. And once you see that, you stop fearing it. You start playing ahead of it. Let's go deeper. Why does Murphy's Law happen in real life? Think about a rocket launch, thousands of components, millions of calculations, every possible problem accounted for. Yet things still go wrong. Why? Because perfection does not exist. Because no matter how tightly controlled something seems, reality will introduce a variable you didn't expect. Human error, unknown physics, a part that wasn't tested in the exact condition it's facing. Murphy's Law is a wake-up call. A reminder that no matter how smart, careful, or well-planned you are, failure is always an option. And that means you have one choice. Will you be the person blindsided by failure, or the person ready for it before it happens? Because that decision, it changes everything. Murphy's Law is a filter. Most people assume the universe will play fair. They assume their plans will go smoothly. They assume they'll succeed just because they worked hard. And when things fall apart, they collapse mentally, they get stuck. They let the chaos destroy their momentum. But the ones who know Murphy's Law, they don't collapse. They don't freeze. They don't waste time asking, why me? Because they already expected the storm. And when it hits, they're already moving forward while everyone else is still picking up the pieces. Now, let's get tactical. How do the smartest people use Murphy's Law to their advantage? First, they build anti-fragility. Anti-fragility means getting stronger from failure instead of weaker. It means designing systems, your mindset, your routines, your work, so that they don't just survive disasters, they thrive because of them. That means having backups for everything, creating plans for worst-case scenarios, building skills that work even when things go sideways. It's why elite military units train under extreme stress conditions, because when Murphy strikes, they don't get slower, they get better. Second, they never trust perfection. If something feels too smooth, too perfect, too guaranteed, they double-check everything, because they know the biggest failures come when you least expect them. It's why pilots constantly check their instruments, even when everything looks fine. It's why stock traders prepare for market crashes, even when things look stable. It's why elite athletes visualize everything that can go wrong before they compete. They know the mind loves comfort. They know people ignore warning signs just because they feel safe. And they never let comfort make them blind. Third, they use Murphy's Law as a weapon. Most people, they hope for smooth sailing. The smartest people, they assume storms are coming. So they prepare their mindset. They prepare their systems. They prepare their next move long before chaos arrives. That's how elite thinkers stay ahead while everyone else panics. That's how military strategists anticipate battle losses before they happen. That's how billionaires prepare their money to survive economic crashes. Not because they're paranoid, but because they understand reality. Murphy's Law isn't just something that screws you over. It's a truth you can weaponize. And now, you've got the blueprint. This isn't just about laughing at bad luck anymore. It's about seeing reality clearly, understanding why things go wrong, and turning chaos into something you predict, control, and master. Because if failure is inevitable, you have one job. Make sure it happens on your terms, not reality's.